The next function of the lipids is the main function which we learned in the last class regarding cholesterol. Cholesterol very important for formation of bile juice, for the formation of bile salts, even for the sex hormones. And remember, anabolic steroids I talked about. So there are hormones which are made up of steroids, like the salt retaining hormone, the stress hormone. So all these are important, along with the vitamin D also I explained in the last class. So cholesterol plays an important role. It comes under the function of lipids only. Then the next one is prostaglandin. So if you remember, in the last class I talked about that in 12th you'll be learning in detail about this. Prostaglandin is a hormone, or you can say it's a messenger which is involved in a large number of activities in our body, especially the contraction of the smooth muscle. So when sperms enter into female body, smooth muscles inside the reproductive tract will undergo contraction. That contraction is required for faster movement of these sperms. In the same manner, prostaglandin is also important when it comes to the topic of labor pain, when delivery has to occur. Even in the cure of asthma, prostaglandin plays an important role. Gastric acidity, prostaglandin plays an important role. So this will be learning in the 12th class. The next function is the medical science. We all know in medical science, PUFA, what is PUFA? Polyunsaturated fatty acid. So this fat plays an important role, because if this fat is taken, that's why Saffola and all these days ads, if you watch on television, those advertisements talk about the PUFA, because this prevents the heart problem, because such type of oil is supposed to prevent the thickening or the hardening or narrowing of the coronary arteries. So the heart valves or arteries would be functioning better. If they function better, then heart attack and problems regarding it won't take place. Another function of the lipid is the myelin sheath. In 10th class, we have learned that nerve fibers are of two types, non-myelinated and myelinated. So that fatty component formed by the Schwann cells, if you remember, this fatty component is called as the myelin sheath. Its importance we'll be learning in the 11th chapter, but in the later chapters. Next function is cell membrane. We all know phospholipid, the fluid mosaic model. So phospholipid is a lipid, so it's an important portion of the cell membrane. In the same manner, all other organelic membranes are also lipid in nature. The next is the ear wax, the cuticle present in plants, or the wax present on the leaves of the plants. They are also important. You know what is the function of ear wax? Stop the bacterial growth, microbial growth, etc. In the same manner, suberin, in the last class I discussed that it is impermeable to water and is present in the cork cell, as well as present in as the Casparian strips in the endodermal cells of the roots. So this topic we'll be learning in the 6th chapter. In detail. Then it reduces transpiration. We know that whenever there is a layer of cuticle and all, it is going to stop or reduce the amount of the transpiration. So loss of water can be prevented by a lipid layer. Soap formation, saponification topic is the function of lipid again. There are vitamins. I told you vitamins are of two types, water soluble and fat soluble. Water soluble vitamins are vitamin B complex and C. Rest all other vitamins are fat soluble. So if your body has enough fat, then only it can store lipid vitamins inside. Which vitamins? Fat soluble vitamins. Then the next is metabolic water. I explained those reactions to you, that how during the reactions of the ester formation, water goes out. So this water is called as the metabolic water, and this water is for some animals, like we'll be learning in 12th class, adaptations of desert animals. So there are some animals which solely depend upon the fat breakdown to obtain water for their survival. They don't consume water at all because they are living in cold deserts. So such animals depend. Even you talk about camel's hump is not water, it is extra amount of fat. So when that fat undergoes oxidation, water comes out. So camel survives because of fat stored inside the body. So the water which comes out in that breakdown is called as metabolic water. In the same manner, essential oils, we know perfume industry depends upon scent. So the scent basically is nothing but the essential oils or the secondary metabolites of plants. So I hope this all is clear. So this brings us to the end of the topic of lipids. We will start the new topic of amino acids and proteins in the next class.